The Ink and Paint Club podcast is intended for mature audiences. I know we're usually talking about kids' cartoons and stuff, but there's going to be naughty language. Anyway, listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to the Ink and Paint Club podcast, your weekly home for animation reviews and discussions.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Ink and Paint Club podcast.
Yay, hi.
Yeah. I'm your host JD as always, and I've got Kyle here.
Me.
Thanks. The last episode you were so enthusiastic, even if it was mocking me.
Yeah, but I was mocking you. That's the fucking difference.
Alright, sure.
I'm here too.
Yeah, and then my lovely wife is
Wife.
here. I think this is the first show we've been on together since we got married.
Yay. They had to drag me in because I have opinions on Harley, so.
Yeah, so,
I saw you guys get married.
Yeah, you were there. It was cool.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Yay.
So yeah, a new animated Batman movie came out a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
When this airs.
I was so excited about it.
Well, let me get through this
Okay.
first. And a lot of people were excited for it because Bruce Timm was coming back, and it's animated like the old Batman animated series.
Has
Kevin
Bruce Timm
Conroy
ever left though?
No, not really. He's kind of just off and on now. But Kevin Conroy's back as Batman. I think they got the original Nightwing back. Harley's voiced by some chick from Big Bang Theory.
Is it the main blonde girl?
I think. I don't know.
She's the only chick I know from Big Bang
I don't watch
Theory.
Big Bang Theory. I'm not 45 person. I don't know.
Whoa.
I'm not a parent, so I don't watch Big
Yeah.
Bang Theory. So yeah. This was.
I didn't think Ivy was the same, but she was voiced by the girlfriend from Dan's Versus, the wife, Elsie.
Oh. Huh. I thought she sounded familiar.
Paget Brewster, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. And Kevin Michael Richardson is the other plant guy who isn't
guy?
Swamp Thing.
I liked the girl who did Harley in this. I thought she did a really good job.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Tara Strong, so
Right.
I liked that.
Which Tara does fine. It's just she's a little oversaturated. But anyway, so yeah, this was kind of a big deal for a lot of people because it was a return to, the old Batman show that everyone likes.
The Timverse.
The Timiverse, whatever. But yeah, we have some words for this movie.
Yeah.
So basically, the whole conceit of this movie, which I feel the plot is.
Well, I thought it started out really good. It started out like a good, strong, typical Batman movie where he's doing like detective work, and he goes and meets people, and they have like an overarching theme, and they show what the bad guys are doing, and it started off really strong, I thought.
Yeah, and then so one of the. Well, I'm just going to get this out of the way right now. There was a lot of problems with this movie.
Yeah, there really was.
And one of its major problems is it has a serious issue with, what tone it wants to convey. Because, the first 5 minutes of this movie is, you're watching old Batman animated series work. It's, serious. People are getting punched out.
Well, people are dying because there was bloodshed.
Yeah.
A wave of blood and shit.
But I think that's kind of the point of Harley Quinn was when they bring her in, she brings the kookiness. I think that's the whole point is she's such a contrasting image from Batman.
I get that, but the second that she's introduced, it drops all the seriousness from its tone and just becomes just so goofy. Almost Adam West goofy. In fact, there's even an Adam West reference at some point because we have to put Adam West Batman references in.
Like the fart jokes. The Batman.
God,
I never thought I would live to see the day that...
There's just a 2-minute long fart joke.
It was amazing.
Jesus.
It was amazing.
But,
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was the funniest shit because, Batman is just so stone-faced the whole time.
And that's, the thing. I thought there were bits that were funny. but when you put it on as a whole, it's a mess. Kyle, you haven't said a word edgewise. Then what are your impressions?
I thought the movie was awful. 100%.
You didn't even like any of the jokes, any of the gags?
I honestly did not laugh once during the movie.
Aww.
I thought the movie was stupid and contrived. And those are some big college words, folks. Look them up. But anyways, I just thought it was dumb. The first thing they're like, oh shit, Poison Ivy's involved. Better get Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
was
the
quite a
world's
jump.
greatest detective. Let's get her for no apparent reason, because they're lovers.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna go lesbos at some point.
They're BFFs.
But like,
Kinda did.
yeah, a little bit. But I think like putting Poison Ivy and this other plant character that like 99% of the population has no idea who he is. Like I didn't know who he was at first. I just think they're not strong enough villains to carry almost an hour and a half long movie. Batman and Robin from the 90s is evidence of that. So, like, putting them as the main bad guys, like, their plan is, like, so contrived. Like, they're trying to turn the world into plant people, I guess. And
Which is really overdone.
Yeah. I don't know. It's... their plan doesn't really make sense, and they keep finding ways to keep stretching it out. It's like, oh, it doesn't work, so let's find this one other way to make it work. And then they have to go down to Louisiana to Swamp Thing's swamp to get his magic swamp water.
And they got high.
Yeah, kinda.
That was hilarious.
They got magic portal powers from eating a magic yam.
Like
they even make fun of the fact
really
that Floronic Man just pulls like a yam out of his ass. It's like, here, eat this.
Yeah, it was really random.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not. I guess character wise, it's good. Like the acting.
I think a lot of it was just kind of like, I think Bruce Timm maybe had like a lot of jokes over the years.
Yeah, maybe
that he maybe like sketched out or had like in his brain, because Harley is his baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought maybe he just was like, you know what? Let's just take all these gags and put them in a movie.
Sure, and like that. Well, like if you want to do silly, Harley Quinn stuff, that's fine. I've got no problem with that. I think the problem is because they set the first 10-15 minutes up as this serious detective thing that they're doing, because they're trying to find out what Poison Ivy is doing and all that stuff, and that's fine. But I think also putting it, like, drawing it like the old Batman animated series, like, it's the tone is just, it's conflicting.
I didn't really care. I didn't care where they're like, hey guys, blood. And it's like, okay, that kind of doesn't fit that much. And then they're like, let's kind of curse a little bit too. I didn't like it. Because it felt very forced.
I didn't
like holy goddamn. It's like,
yeah, there was a lot of forced stuff I felt like, and like the sex scene with Nightwing I thought seemed really forced.
Yeah, there's a whole scene where Harley Quinn and Nightwing do it. After
they have sex, they like keep bringing up the fact that they had sex. Like when she's getting in the car, she's like, don't touch me. You give a guy 20 minutes of naughty fun time and they think they own you. And then it's like they drop it, and then she brings it up again. She's like, look, you're nice. Maybe I'll call you when I run out of batteries. Like, okay, I get it. You guys had sex.
Yeah,
like,
it comes up a couple different times.
Jesus Christ.
The other problem I had with this movie is that they had this gigantic chase scene because she just was like, hey, it's that guy. Yeah. There was nothing that ever explained it, and I even told my girlfriend, watch, she's gonna be like, hey, you owe me $5.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be the whole chase scene. But
yeah,
I fucking felt it. But the thing is, he fucking stops his car in the middle of traffic with the hatch wide open. There's cars crashing into all this stuff, and you're like, alright, he's a superhero, what the fuck is he doing? So all these people are dead because of car crashes and semis smashing into cars, and then they're like, oh, he got stood up. There's the joke, guys.
Yeah,
like, so as
like,
far as a superhero goes, he wasn't very super about anything.
No, that's the whole scene annoyed because it's like she's going on in the back seat about like, oh, we got to find this one henchman who will know where Ivy is, and she's like, that's the guy, and it ends up not being the guy. It's just some rando guy that she had beef with, I guess.
Yeah, I think that was a very predictable joke.
And it's just like, it's not so much that I have a problem with that joke, it's that the fact that joke went on for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was well animated.
I mean, yeah.
And then another thing I hated was they went to that bar and they had like an 8-minute scene where she's singing.
There is a part in this movie where they go to a henchman bar and the movie just stops dead for like a good 5 to 10 minutes so Harley Quinn can do karaoke.
And same thing like with those twins, they showed them singing for like forever.
And to put it on top of that, it wasn't even good karaoke. She didn't even sound good. It was very shitty singing.
Yeah, it wasn't the best, but it's just like, it's like you have so much time in a movie, and for as like padded as this movie feels like, that's just like extra padding.
Extra shit that you could have done a good ending with.
And it's like, they're not, like, none of that scene develops characters. It's not moving the plot forward. It's literally like, there's bits of it where they're just showing the singers dancing, or they're singing, and they're having Harley dancing in the crowd with the other henchmen or whatever, and Batman starts dancing a little bit, and Nightwing starts dancing. There's nothing pushing the plot forward until the very end of that scene where they're like, oh, hey, so this henchman did know where he was. Like, okay, well, we could have shortened that up by about 5 minutes.
But they had to put the automatopoeia of out my balls.
Yeah, okay, so that's another thing.
What?
Like, cause they're like, right as they're about to leave the bar after they got their information, all the henchmen decided that collectively at once that they want to fight Batman. And instead of showing the fight scene, they decided to show the outside of the bar while Batman 66 style punching graphics pop up off screen. It's like, is it trying to be serious 90s Batman? Is it trying to be Lego Batman? It's like, I don't know what tone of Batman this movie's trying to convey.
Also, one of the things that confused me was like in the very beginning, Batman kept going and talking to this guy that was voiced by
John DiMaggio.
and like, who the fuck was that?
It was Nick Fury.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's like DC's Nick Fury, I guess.
I had no idea who that was, and then like they kept making. Whoa. I don't know, and they kept coming back, and then he was gone. I don't know. I didn't know who the fuck that was. Yeah,
Batman. Well, he goes to Argus, which is like an established. It's basically DC's version of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, so I didn't know that.
I don't know who that character is, but he goes to talk to this guy, gets some information out of him, and then he doesn't show up again. He's irrelevant to the plot.
It was really random. Just so that
I was watching it, and I'm like, his mug is drawn way bigger than his hand, and then he crushed it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I guess that's why.
Sure.
Yeah.
Not only that, but then they make a sex joke with him, and he's like, well, it's therapeutic in Thailand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I get it.
Is he like...
That's silly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, is he like child molesting?
I don't know.
I didn't know what that joke was.
I didn't really understand. It's like, whatever, I'm just gonna let it go.
And then, my problem, too, was they had Nightwing get jobbed by her, which was fucking stupid.
Get jobbed?
Yeah.
That's an actual term.
Nightwing is, like, more or less kind of raped in this movie. Kind of.
Nah, he's totally goes for it.
He gets jobbed in the fight, which was retarded, and then it was like, oh, he didn't even prepare for a laughing gas.
What is the term jobbed? I don't even...
It's when you get... It's like a one-sided fight.
You get ass kicked?
Yeah, it was like a one-sided fight. He took a pellet to the face and was like, down.
Yeah.
To the face.
But like, he got hit with laughing gas through a needle, apparently, and he didn't prepare for that.
Yeah.
And then she's going off on a fucking tirade about how she can't find a job, and it's like, she's bad. So
I was like, she's...
stealing an identity or anything.
Yeah.
It's like, no one's gonna hire her.
No one's gonna hire me, and it's like, well, you're a bad guy. Yeah. Like, you can't find a job somewhere else. You have a secret identity. You can't, like, make another one.
Yeah,
it's just
you'd think so.
Kind of fucking stupid.
But,
yeah.
That kind of, like, I don't know. It kind of reminds me that, something that was kind of bugging me through the entire movie is that, like, DC really was trying to sexualize its female characters in this. Like,
well, that's just Bruce Timm.
I know, and it's weird. Like, I know Bruce Timm draws, like, pin-up stuff, but, like, they have a Hooters bar that it's, like...
I thought that was cute. I liked that.
I don't know. I thought it was weird. It's like, they have a Hooters that's superhero themed, so, like, all the girls are dressed up as, like, Wonder Woman and Batgirl and all that stuff. I thought it was weird.
I mean, I thought that was pretty believable in that world, honestly.
It's strange. And then, like...
I believe it, but it's for cheesecake. That's all it's for.
Yeah. And then there's a scene where Harley's trying to pick out an outfit, and she has all these, like, very fetishy costumes in her closet. It's just very...
No, I just think they were themed based on, like, when she was a henchman for the Joker, because sometimes they would go to the Arctic, so she was Arctic Harley. And then...
These are action figures
I thought, yeah, those were just the jokes.
Yeah, that's all it was making fun of the action figures.
Yeah,
because they already made the joke in fucking Brave and the Bold, where she even said Street Luge Harley, and that was like a straight rip from that joke.
Street Luge Harley. Yeah, there's roller derby Harley.
Yeah, so...
yeah. So... I think the other big thing about this, I think a lot of us have gripes on, is basically the last 20 minutes of the movie. I'll just say straight up, I don't think they knew how to end the movie.
Well, no, but did they ever show what happened to the police that were with them?
I have no idea, yeah.
Okay,
because they just disappeared for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So,
well, I assume it's because Ivy kicked the shit out of them.
Probably. I mean, okay, plants. So yeah, so Batman, Nightwing, and Harley all go down to Louisiana where Ivy and her plant guy friend need Swamp Thing's magic plant water to complete their formula to turn the Earth into plant people. And it's just one contrivance after another where it's like they're getting their asses kicked, and Swamp Thing shows up for a hot second, does nothing, and leaves. Like they keep mentioning him through the entire movie. It's like, oh, Swamp Thing, blah blah blah, and they're building him up to be like this big character. And then he shows up. He's like 3 stories tall. Thinks he's gonna like be the Deus Ex Machina of this movie, and then he's like, well, I have no reason to judge what you're doing, so I'm gonna peace out, and then just leaves.
I just feel like that was kind of the joke in a sense.
And, like, again, if this movie were, like, more obvious in the fact that, like, oh, this is going to be a straight-up comedy and not, like, straddling the line between being, like, you know, the dark edginess of the old Batman show and then maybe something more campy. If they were going straight up like, oh, no, this is completely for camp, all of it is a joke, that's fine.
In the old animated series, whenever there was a Harley episode, it would get campy and silly, like...
yeah, I guess, but it's like, anytime it's just Batman on his own, it's like, it feels like an old Batman episode that doesn't involve her, but as soon as she is, it goes completely on the other side of that, and it's... I don't know. It's unbalanced to me, and it annoys me.
Again, I think that's like... and I can't say, because I don't write movies, I'm not Bruce Timm, I don't, but I think that's kind of the point, is that Harley is such a, like, crazy character to Batman's crazy seriousness.
I guess.
That, I don't know, I think it's supposed to be topsy-turvy, because that's just the way it is, because Batman's always, like, this dark, brooding thing, and she's just a wild card.
I feel the people at Warner Brothers is like, hey, this character has been pretty popular over the years.
I guess that's
true. Why don't you make a movie? And they were like, sure, let's do that. And that's the only reason.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason this movie exists is because Harley Quinn's so popular in the last couple of years. Like, I mean, that's kind of how DC is. I feel that, like, every couple of years they'll just take one character and they'll, like, all right, this is the new big character now. Even if it's an old character, it's like, we're gonna make them popular now.
I also think that there's been a lot of anger from fans and stuff about Harley Quinn, how she's displayed with her outfits, and how they've just made her like a super skanky, crazy person. So I think maybe, and I don't know how much Bruce Timm had influence on this, but maybe they thought, well, let's bring a new movie where she's in her original outfit to show people, like,
I mean, yeah,
where she came from.
I mean, obviously, it's like playing on nostalgia a little bit, because it's like, drawn in the Batman the animated series style, and like has the actors.
I got no problem. I got no problem with that because at the Hooters bar she was kind of wearing a new type costume.
Yeah, that's what that was the reference I thought. That was like her roller derby one.
Yeah, but as far as normal, that's fine. She looked okay through the movie. No complaints there.
No.
No, well, see, because I used to watch the animated series quite a bit, and for the longest time, that was all I really knew about Batman and the DC universe was through, like, the Timverse.
And, Justice League.
And the Justice League, all that. I was very into those. And so, like, Bruce Timm and the Harley Quinn, and, like, this style has, like, a special place for me as far as, like, DC Comics go. And, like, I really enjoy Harley Quinn when she's in her signature outfit, and they're not skanking her up, but I don't know.
She was designed for this series, so this is, like, her.
Yeah, and so this is what I like, and I think it's complicated to make a Harley Quinn by herself without the Joker, because she was created as a hand of the Joker. Like, that's kind of her whole character.
Yeah.
Is her abusive relationship with the Joker. And so I think it's weird when they put her somewhere where she's by herself. And I know people are going to disagree with me. People are going to be like, oh, that's super sexist.
I kind of agree. I think when, at least from what I've seen, when Harley's on her own, it's a little weird. Like, when we saw Suicide Squad, it's just strange when she's, like, independent.
They just sexualize her like crazy when she's independent.
Yeah, and I mean, it's great that they want to, like, let her branch out and be her own character. I'm all for that, but just, like, and I'm sure, like you said, I'm sure there's people in the comments will be like, oh, well, in this, and this comic, she's fine.
And
which is great. It's just the examples that we're familiar with, which, like, this and...
Well, and I read a handful of the new type Harley Quinn comics. I did. Mm-hmm. I can't say I really enjoyed reading them, because it was just stupid. Like, it wasn't it was just stupid. Like, they changed her origin story a little bit, like, where they made her jump into a vat, and that's how she, like, becomes white. I don't like that. I like how she's choosing insanity because of the Joker. I don't think in New Type and even in Suicide Squad, when it shows her kind of quote-unquote origin story,
she's just inherently already crazy.
It looks like, well, especially in the Suicide Squad, it looks like the Joker is, like, pointing a gun to her, and then he tortures her to the point where she breaks. But originally, she was so manipulated by him, and that's the point, is he's a manipulator. She was so manipulated by him that she fell in love with him and chose to be crazy. Mm-hmm. Not purposely thrown into a vat and always white. She can always take off her makeup
and be normal,
which I think is a very, like, symbolic thing of her, is that she isn't the Joker. The Joker's permanently white. The Joker's permanently crazy. Mm-hmm. She chooses to be crazy. She chooses to put on the costume, and she can choose to take it off.
I mean, that's a big part of this movie, is, like, the whole first part is that she's actively not wanting to go with Batman to help him, because she's
actively. And it wasn't until she had sex with Nightwing and put on the Harley costume that, to me, felt like she went back to being stupid, because she starts the movie being a badass.
Yeah, she's like, she just wants to work a normal job and just be normal, and that's fine. And she seems, like, perfectly sane and stuff, so...
I thought it was fucked up that Nightwing and Batman dragged her back into it. I did. I thought it was fucked up.
Yeah, like, the whole bit where, like, Nightwing says, like, he keeps egging her on.
Yeah, he's like, you just crave it. That's why you're working there.
Like, because... and she's, like, doing so hard. She's working so hard to, like, try to live a normal life, and then they just go and, like...
They just, like, that pissed me off, so I wasn't really on their side for that. I understand they wanted information about Ivy, but I don't know. I thought they were dicks about it. And, yeah, like Kyle said... He's, like, the best detective in the world. Why did they have to jump to that? Like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was living such a normal life, if she was in a condemned building.
I mean, she's trying to live a normal life.
Well, she doesn't have any money, like...
She was working for minimum wage plus tips.
Yeah.
They said it.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Well, but what renter is going to want to rent to her, knowing her criminal background?
That's the reason she can't get
that's like the point.
That's why she can't get a better job, because she's a convicted criminal.
You guys say that she's trying to be clean, yet she had a 10-pound fucking weight in her bag.
Well, have you seen...
She's in fucking Gotham City in the crap downtown. I would carry that too.
She had Joker venom on her for some reason.
I mean, you saw the clients that she gets at work. I mean, she need defense.
They were just sleazeballs. They weren't like fucking murderers or anything.
You never know, man.
Yeah, I mean, come on. We've seen The Dark Knight. We know how dark that shit gets.
I don't know.
I didn't think that anything. I thought she was defending herself. I didn't think anything of that.
Yeah.
It was dumb. But see, like you guys brought up, having her as her own independent character doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Because she's always been Joker's henchman, and that's why her costume...
That's why she's Harley Quinn.
It's his.
Yeah. And that's what I didn't like about the comics. She is Harley Quinn because the Joker called her Harley Quinn. So when she goes off on her own and she's like, oh, I don't need...
Her name is literally
she's literally calling herself what the Joker wanted her to be. She didn't even, like, change her name to, like, I don't know.
Like,
make
a new identity.
And make a new... Yeah, become a new...
Her name is Harley Quinzel or whatever. Harley. It's just... It's her name.
Yeah.
Well, but still, the Joker kept saying to her how he wanted his own Harley Quinn, how he couldn't wait to have, he loved her name, and this, that, and the other thing, and that was kind of the whole point. Now, it's been official that she was never really a psychiatrist due to intelligence, necessarily, because she was also very manipulative, it showed in the original comic, Mad Love, is that she makes her way through college by getting flirty with her teachers and manipulating people, and that's how she climbs her way up the ladder to get to Arkham, because she wants to write, like, a book.
She wants to, like, cash in.
Yeah, she wants to cash in.
Didn't the comic have her as a talk show host, or am I thinking of something else?
There's different versions of that,
yeah,
and we'll get to that.
What was that one Batman cartoon where she was...
the Batman?
The Batman.
I like that show.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, there was an episode where she was the talk show host.
So there's different... But for me, I always go back to the original Mad Love comic that Bruce Timm did. In that original episode of the Batman animated series. That's what I think about when I think about Harley origin. Is that specific one. Now... I don't know, I could write a dissertation on Harley Quinn. I know I'm overthinking it because she's just a fictional character, but I feel like she's more than that to a lot of women in the world. Like, in the comic book industry, she's just this thing to be sexualized. That is what they've made her to be. And even in the new type comics, they put her in these shitty, skimpy things, roller derbying it with her butt everywhere, and they just made her this skank.
Does it help that a woman designed all those costumes and stuff?
Ugh, so dumb.
Traitors.
Because that's Amanda Connor, if you want to blame someone.
Yeah. I mean, but you know who the audience she was targeting for.
Yeah, but Amanda Connor is known for that stuff.
I don't know who that is.
She's done Power Girl and everything like that. So
Power Girl, the tits.
Well,
if you want to blame someone for being skimpy, you would blame her as the artist.
Yeah. Well,
but you have to wonder who the heads up were probably like, okay, we're looking for some costumes for this, and obviously we have a male-targeted audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
well, yeah,
you pander.
But that
she's
doesn't
pandering.
Help that...
I know that she's a woman, but I've pandered. I've drawn porn for people who want porn so I could get some page views. Like, we pander.
True, but
you know,
you don't hear women complaining when they're cosplaying as her as well.
I don't know.
Yeah.
When women, okay, the original Harley Quinn costume is modest. She's completely covered because she is only there for the Joker. That is...
I mean, modest in the sense that it's a skin-tight suit.
Well, it's just Bruce Timm.
Sure.
If you have a latex fetish, then she's for you.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I just have a lot of opinions on Harley Quinn. I could go on for days. But...
So, we've been talking about, like, her relationship with the Joker, but, like, she also has, like... Well, I think it's a really kind of cool pairing of, her relationship with Ivy and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
And, I don't know, how did you feel about, like, their relationship in this? Because I had some words.
Really?
I don't. It's more of the execution, not so much like. Because basically the whole point of this movie, the only reason Harley's in this movie is because like Batman, she convinces Batman that like, oh, she can convince Ivy to stop doing it because they're such good friends and stuff. But the way that she gets her to stop doing it is like the most like lazy. I don't know, like. Because basically, they get down to the swamp and stuff, and they're about to unleash the plant people serum or whatever. And Harley's like, "All right, there's like one thing I know that'll make you stop." And I thought she was gonna like try to kill herself or something. It's like no, she just like starts crying and is like, "Really? That's what gets you to stop?"
I don't think that's anything new. I mean, what in Kim Possible she would do the pout face and get away with shit.
It seemed like such a serious moment, and to be completely undercut by that. It's like, I don't know. I thought they would do something, or I thought that was going to be the moment where they go lesbo.
Well, they kind of did.
They were hugging,
yeah.
And then the plant guy was like,
I thought she was going to smooch her or something.
Oh, I mean, I think it's very obvious what their relationship is.
Apparently they had their first official smooch in the comics now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, LGBT stuff is still so... I mean, you gotta think about all the fat dudes masturbating to them, like...
Ugh.
Well, I was gonna say, if you think it's pandering with the skimpy outfits and stuff, is it pandering to make them lesbians?
That is a loaded question, Kyle.
It depends on how it's done, I guess. If it's done tastefully, then maybe not. But...
Because they never show them, like, greased up, wrestling, fucking...
They're usually just roommates.
Lesing it out. Yeah, they're usually just roommates hanging out.
Well, from what I've seen in the comics, they kind of have a
little touchy-feely,
pretty loving relationship.
Well, they do. I mean, but I've never seen it, like, super, here's sex. I mean, I do think they're lesbians. I mean, I think Harley Quinn is so fucked in the head that she loves all kinds of things. I think her and Ivy are very close. I think Ivy loves Harley more than Harley loves Ivy. I think Ivy loves Harley romantically, and I think Harley is just
loves everybody.
Loves everything, in a sense. And
I mean,
I don't think she will ever care for another human being the way she cared about the Joker. I think Ivy and her are comforting to each other, and they get along. But I don't think it's a romantic love.
And like I do like their relationship in the sense that like they kind of balance each other out because Harley's like this wild and crazy thing and Ivy's more kind of reserved,
serious, and I think it's cute. I really like it when they hang out.
It's like, you know, having. Well, I was gonna say it's like the Joker. It's not, but I mean, I like that the fact they have each other because it's like they like. I don't know. Ivy keeps her grounded a little bit.
But how many LGBT characters are there in DC Comics? I don't actually know.
Tons.
I don't really know.
I don't know. I don't keep up with comics too much.
Like a million?
Who? Like, I'm genuinely curious. Like, who is...
Well, let me go on this magical
Wikipedia
thing called Google.
Well, let's not...
Because what I was going to say is... It could be argued that two characters that are really popular, really prominent, being bisexual... is good for the LGBT community. I don't think it's pandering. Maybe it started out that way.
You don't think Bruce Timm loving cheesecake as much as he does and having a whole fucking bar themed so he can draw all these other women not actually have them as characters in the movie itself, you don't think it's a little pandering for him to make them lesbians?
I do.
So
I think it started that way, but what I'm saying is I think it's evolved into something more.
Yeah, and like other comic creators have taken a hold of that stuff, and
because in the Batman animated series.
To answer your question, one of the Batwomen is a lesbian.
Oh yeah,
the red one.
Yeah. Sandra's.
Yes.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
She's.
There is also a gay Green Lantern.
Which one? Which one?
There is a gay. That would be Alan Scott, the very first.
That's
Green
right.
Lantern.
Alan Scott is gay.
I just want to make note that I have no idea who any of these people are.
I know.
I know who Harley and Ivy are, and a lot of people know who. My mom knows who Harley Quinn and Ivy are. So I'm just saying.
The Brain from Teen Titans is gay as well. The brain.
The brain?
That robotic brain.
The robot thing?
I don't know if that counts.
What? Oh, come on.
Yes, it is listed in here. He is
That's
a gay
hilarious.
character.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
That's really funny.
I
love that.
So
I just want to see like a bunch of dicks rubbing glass on him.
gross.
He's like, oh.
So I want to talk about like the ending of this, the two parts of the ending here. So when I was saying earlier that I don't think they really knew how to end this movie because they're having all these problems like trying to stop Floronic Man from releasing the plant people serum, and then just like out of nowhere they're like, wait a second, he's a plant, we can set him on fire.
Okay,
and then the movie just ends.
Hated that Batman smooched her on the cheek. He would never fucking do that.
Yeah, but it's like Harley's like,
Both of
it's
them.
like anyone got matches, and then like Nightwing and Batman kiss her on the cheek, and the movie ends.
So dumb.
They don't even show them trying to set him on fire.
Why? Batman would never do. I mean, what do I know about? I'm not a writer for Batman. I don't fucking know. But could you honestly?
It seemed like a very lazy
so
cop out ending.
Stupid. So
pretty
stupid. Ugh.
And to answer your question, the brain and that big monkey are pretty much a couple.
Really? Oh my god! I'm learning so many things right now.
But
there you go.
yeah. So
Where there is like no pleasure in that.
gross. Anyway, enough about weird robot monkey sex.
Bestiality and
robots.
No wonder like
Love goes.
Nazis
love
are marching.
goes beyond sex. Okay.
Gross.
It's amazing.
But yeah, like so the whole ending, they like just it ends so abruptly.
And then it cuts in.
It goes for a few seconds, and then it cuts back to the movie. It just shows Floronic Man running across the screen on fire, and then it cuts back to the credits again.
So dumb.
Well, see, things like that kind of piss me off because they have this whole scene where she's fighting against a giant vegetable hand, and then she like rips it in half, and it's like, I'm sure things like that have happened where they've like ripped a plant monster in half and then it like grows back.
Yeah.
So I'm sure if someone was caught on fire, they would pretty much grow back from that.
Yeah.
Plus he's like from an alternate dimension.
I don't know. I just thought it was like they go through this whole thing and it's like they're trying to figure out a way to stop them and like literally just like have this really last second lazy solution.
They could have just had Swamp Man say that, and then he'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I was wrong. You're right." And then he gives up and then goes back to his dimension.
That's where I think the movie should have went.
Yeah,
is like because Floronic Man is about to release the serum, and then Swamp Thing shows up and basically tells him like, "What you're doing is wrong. You're gonna kill a bunch of people." And he basically says like, "Oh, sorry."
And then you know what could have been cute is okay, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm sorry," and then he leaves, and then Ivy and Harley go their own way, and then they could have had Harley in that restaurant, right? And then say Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson visit her in that restaurant, just as and then he leaves her like a massive tip or something.
Yeah, that would have been really nice.
That to me seems like something Batman would do.
It's just, I mean, that's basically where the movie decides it's done because it's like I said, Swamp Thing comes in, he tries to lecture Floronic Man for a second, and then he's like, "Well, ain't my place to judge."
So dumb.
Leaves, and Floronic Man goes back to doing what he's doing. So that entire 2 minutes where Swamp Thing shows up has no point to it.
So dumb.
He just goes back to doing what he's doing, and then they try to set him on fire.
Also, like we've seen Batman get his ass kicked by way crazier things than a plant thing. Like, why was he getting his ass handed to him so bad?
He had blood coming out of his mouth.
I just feel like everyone,
Well, and then like Ivy was pushing him back because she was like.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I was saying. Like,
she was like all strong.
That's what I called it like right before they did it because it's like Floronic Man was like fighting everyone because Ivy decided that the plan was dumb and she didn't want to do it anymore. And he like Floronic Man starts fighting and was like, "What? Just wait for it. Ivy's gonna put her hand up and it's like she controls plants. She can control him."
Yeah, you did say that.
And then
that was funny.
She kind of fucks him up a little bit, but it doesn't. He comes back. And
they could have ended it there.
Her in the face so hard. I loved it.
They could have ended it there where she like fucked him up or something.
it's like there's so many better points where the movie could have just ended there, or it could have diverted just a little bit to make it better, but it's like it went on, and then this place where they stopped, it was just like, so stupid.
I would love to hear their explanation for why.
I want to know. I want to know the explanation.
Budget.
Like,
did they just think it was funny? They're like, oh, this is hilarious, let's end it.
Probably.
Like that's no.
Yeah, and it's so weird because it's like the ending feels so abrupt. Like, okay, well, we just don't have a plot anymore, so we're just gonna stop. That's fine. And then the credits go, and there's a whole after credit scene that's almost 5 minutes long, where Harley apparently has a talk show now and is putting people through some like American Ninja wipeout obstacle course in order to get therapy, I guess, because she's not a licensed physician or a licensed therapist or whatever. And that goes nowhere.
Oh, yeah, that was dumb.
It's literally just like, oh, we thought this would be a funny thing, or if she's like a really bad talk show host or whatever. I mean, it kind of shows her that she got her life together and stuff.
I didn't even watch that part. So.
I figured you probably wouldn't have stayed after the credits. But it's just like, they spent so much time on that at the end. It's like, couldn't you instead put that time towards writing a better ending?
But she's a silly character, so they made a silly ending.
I get that, but like I've been saying this entire review, is like, this movie is so tonally all over the place that it's like, if you want to be a comedy, be a comedy. If you want to be a serious Batman detective story, be that, but don't be both.
I would have loved it if Bruce Wayne went into that skimpy restaurant and she was his server and he just tipped her a bunch.
Or even like just was...
Or something.
Or maybe she like got a job at like a better, less demeaning restaurant or something.
Or, yeah, like...
Just something.
Maybe Bruce Wayne hired her as a secretary or some shit.
Yes.
Like, he does that. He's done that before where he's gone in and like helped villains when he can see they're trying.
Because that's what Batman does.
Yeah.
He helps people.
Yeah, he's not like a heartless douchebag.
He helps the mentally ill.
Yeah, I don't know.
But,
There's so many Batmans where they just make him a dark, brooding, crazy person, but he's actually got like this sweet, compassionate side.
Yeah.
That I like. That's what I liked about the Timverse, is they explored that part.
You know what I haven't said that really bothered me?
What's that?
Why did Nightwing have eyeballs in his fucking
and Batman
eyes?
Doesn't?
What?
Because they made his eyeballs white in the white mask.
Yeah, like
it was fucking retarded.
Like Batman just has the like his little white triangles for eyes, which is fine. Nightwing also has those white little triangles, but he also has like little gray pupils.
Oh, I didn't notice.
I did think that was weird.
So
that's
dumb.
funny. I didn't care about that.
Like, it added nothing to it. He didn't do extra facial expressions to use the eyes.
No.
Nothing. It was just a very weird design choice.
Yeah, I did think it was kind of weird. Like, I wasn't too bothered by it, but like as soon as you brought it up to me earlier, and like, yeah, that is kind of weird. Why would they do that?
I didn't notice.
It stuck out like a sore thumb. Every time I saw him, like, this looks fucking stupid.
But, if I do want to end on a positive note, because I feel like we've been so negative.
You know what I thought was creepy?
What?
When she was like, I heard a rumor that you used to be Robin, so the boy wonder's all grown up. I was like, ew. So, like, how old are you?
And then then she makes a gay joke about Batman and Robin, which is like such an obvious joke to make.
I don't know. I mean, I thought some of those parts were funny, but
they're being self-referential. Isn't that funny, guys? We get it.
I guess.
Batman's gay.
I guess.
What I did, okay, so on a positive note, what I liked was getting to see the relationship between Nightwing and Batman, because you don't really get to see that much after Nightwing goes off on his own. You don't really...
Okay, so on that note, I do want to say I did get a good laugh at that point where they're driving in the Batmobile, and Batman decides he wants to call the Justice League to see who's available to help, stop Ivy and Floronic Man. Is like, but none of the good people are. Like, it's Booster Gold's the one that picks up, and then, like, Nightwing is like sign languaging responses every time he mentions a new hero. And because he's like eating at the same time.
Funny.
I did get a good laugh. And that's the thing. There are a lot of parts where I got a good laugh at. Like, I will admit I did laugh a little bit at the fart joke stuff. And obviously I laughed at that stuff. I mean, there's good parts here that are funny, but it's just like they'd be funnier in a different movie.
I thought and that's what I was saying. I felt like Bruce Timm had all these jokes, And just to note, if they were just little 5-minute jokes, that'd be adorable.
Yeah, if they wanted to do like little comedy shorts, that's fine. But it's because it's sandwiched between all this more serious stuff. It's like it's so weird.
Yeah.
But I do want to compliment the movie that I think its art direction was very on point. It almost like it didn't look like it skipped a beat from when Batman or Justice League ended. So I mean, it looked like just like the old show, and like all the character designs are just like they were back in the day. So it's like bringing that back. I mean, they did a really good job on that. So art wise, and like the fight scenes are all really good. Everything's really well choreographed. So the art from an art standpoint, this movie is good. It's just the writing is the problem.
Yeah.
This was a lazy cash grab for Harley.
And I mean, I don't want to call the DC animated movies lazy cash grabs. They're cash grabs in some extent because it's like, oh, what's popular right now? What's a good story we could tell? Let's put that out. Because most of the DC animated movies they put out now are either Batman stories or they're Justice League stories. Because they know that's what sells.
Yeah, that is what sells.
And that's what this movie is. Like, Batman and Harley Quinn are marketable characters.
Yeah.
We make a lot of money off them. Let's put them in a movie together.
Yeah.
And, hey, Batman the Animated Series is really popular with our fan base. Let's put it in that art style because that'll grab them, too. So, like, from a marketing standpoint, I get it. I get what they were going for. I just feel like there's a lot of spots in this movie that they could have touched up the writing, changed the story a little bit, that would have made it feel a little more cohesive.
Let's have Constantine have a movie. Better throw Batman in there.
Yeah, we talked about, if you want to know about that, watch our Justice League Dark review from a couple months ago. Actually, that was back in January.
I don't think I ever saw that movie.
We watched it.
I just want to say, I am fucking tired of Batman. And it is oversaturation.
Yeah.
That I just do not give a shit about the character.
If you want to hear more on that, listen to our Lego Batman review. Kyle had many words about Batman.
I enjoy Batman. I do.
I kind of agree with Kyle in the sense that, like, I don't hate Batman. I just think he's very oversaturated, and I feel like let's take a break from Batman for a while. Let's give some other.
I feel the same. I feel the same about Spider-Man. I'm fucking tired of seeing Spider-Man everywhere too.
Well, I don't know about that because Spider-Man: Homecoming was really good, but I don't know. It's just like, I think Batman just needs a couple years where he just takes a break. And I know DC won't do that because he's their most bankable character.
I guess, yeah, you know what I really liked about the Gotham show is how much they focused on the Riddler.
We need to catch up on that show.
I don't really care about it anymore. Oh. But I did like that because the Riddler, I think, is a really cool character.
Yeah.
I would like to see more from him. He's almost like beta Joker because he makes jokes and riddles and he's crazy.
But he's not in this movie.
Yeah. I guess, over the Joker. Is not so much Batman, I'm just over the Joker.
I think both of them.
Like, I'm just so done. And anytime it's a Batman movie, anything, they throw in the Joker. Suicide Squad threw in the Joker. Like, Lego Batman threw in the Joker. Like, he's just... Oh.
I'm trying to think. Well, I'm trying to think of the other animated DC movie. Like, well, obviously The Killing Joke, but that had Joker in it. The Dark Knight Rises had the Joker in it. So, I mean, that's just adaptation. But, yeah, I get your point. It's like, usually when they make a Batman movie, Joker's in there in some capacity.
Or there's a reference or something.
Yeah.
Like...
Not in this one, though. Well, there's like there's a passing mention.
A reference. But, yeah, I was glad he didn't show up. I was, like,
I think
waiting for it.
I think they said he's dead in this movie.
What?
Did they say he was dead?
No.
Oh.
Who said that?
I don't know.
Where'd you hear that?
I thought Harley said he was dead or something.
Where are you pulling that from? She's dead to her, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's what she said. Maybe that's what I misconstrued. But so yeah, there you go, everybody. That's Batman and Harley Quinn for you. If you're a big Batman,
garbage.
What?
It was hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
I don't know if I go that
Waste
far.
your time.
But I mean, if you're a big fan of Batman the Animated Series, I don't know how you're gonna feel about this because it's like, yes, the art style and animation is like right out of that, but it's like, I don't feel like this felt like an old, because I thought I remember listening to interviews or whatever before this movie came out. There's like, we want this to just feel like it's a lost episode of the animated series, and honestly, it did not feel like that way to me.
I wish it stayed Lodge.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. I would watch it again.
Just stop it a little before it ends.
I am the perfect customer for the pandering. Because you put Harley Quinn in anything, and I'm gonna watch it.
Sure will.
Because I really like Harley Quinn. I also really hate Harley Quinn. It's complicated.
It's a complicated relationship.
Like, I thought I was gonna hate Suicide Squad Harley Quinn a lot more than I did. I didn't like her, but I didn't hate her as much as I thought I would.
Yeah.
I like that actress.
I think she's getting a solo movie.
Yeah. But I don't like the new DC universe. But that's just me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, I don't know. If you really are a big Batman or Harley Quinn fan, I'm sure you'll get some enjoyment out of this, but I don't know, personally, I think all of us can agree that this movie had a lot of missteps.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a dumpster fire.
A dumpster fire.
All right, I think we've ripped on this enough. So, thanks everyone for listening. We'll be back again next week with something else. Hopefully, it won't be nearly this negative, because we're usually not this negative about stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll catch y'all next week, I guess.
Yay!
Y'all.
Bye. Oh, Kyle didn't talk about how Harley was Jewish.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Ink and Paint Club podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can catch a new episode every week. Also be sure to follow us on our Facebook and Twitter so you can keep up with the show. Links are in the description. We'll see you next week.